All right, everyone. Good morning. I am Ariel Shaw, founder and president of Southern Crescent Women in Business. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. We have the Georgia Department of Transportation MMIP and DBE program specialists on the line today. They will be talking about the opportunities that are coming down the pipeline or are already here, in fact, as it relates to minority-owned businesses. So again, we have 3 representatives from Georgia Department of Transportation, and we will introduce them shortly. The Georgia Department of Transportation, the preface behind it is they plan, design, construct, maintain, and improve the state's roadways and the bridges. So they have opportunities for businesses that are interested in bidding on projects and providing services to their agency. The Major Mobility Investment Program, or Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, they will be discussing the opportunities that are available today. And if you don't know what a DBE is, I believe most of you guys probably should. They are for-profit small business concerns where socially and economically disadvantaged individuals own at least 51% interest. And they have the definitions of what that minority looks like. So again, I am Ariel Shaw. I am founder and president of Southern Crescent Women in Business. We are a conglomerate of women-owned businesses and women in business and what we call the Southern Crescent. We have 4 active chapters: Henry County Women in Business, Fayette County Women in Business, Clayton Women in Business, and DeKalb Women in Business. So we've created a network for women to do business with each other and to support each other. Find out more about us at www.scwibga.org. So the individuals from our DBE offices are on the line. Again, we have Natasha Cooper. She serves as a DBE specialist for the Georgia Department of Transportation's Major Mobility Investment Program, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Office. She uses education, engagement, and empowerment to align DBEs and small businesses with opportunities on major transportation projects. With a background in procurement, Natasha has worked for over 20 years in public service as an employee and consultant on the school, city, county, and state levels. Miss Jessica Stewart, she's also a DBE specialist. She works as a DBE specialist, again, for the MMIP program. She's passionate about aligning small businesses with opportunities for work. And we have Chris on the line directly from Department of Transportation as well. And if you guys want to say hello, that would be great.
Good morning. This is Chris Evans from the Georgia Department of Transportation DBE Support Services. I'm very happy to be here and looking forward to answering any questions anyone has.
Awesome. Natasha and Jessica?
Good morning, everyone. Natasha Cooper. Happy to be here, happy to share opportunities with you. We are excited. We come to work every day with vigor and passion about aligning you with opportunities that exist with Georgia DOT.
Awesome. We can't hear you, Jessica.
Oh, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jessica Stewart, and I am grateful to be here with you all this morning and look forward to learning more about you, your businesses, and how we can help support you and your business growth and aligning you all with opportunities here in the state of Georgia.
Awesome. So again, we will move forward and we're going to lend the screen over to Department of Transportation, which again, they will go over the DBE program, the MMIP program, and the opportunities that exist. And if you have any questions, that we will take them towards the end. Of course, you can always put things in the chat as well. So So I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay.
All right, ladies, the floor is yours.
Okay. Can you give me sharing privileges? This is Natasha.
All right, everybody should have that. Yes.
All right. Come on. Supposed to move out of the way. I'm sorry, I can't see my. I can't see it. Hold on just a moment. I can't toggle this in. Of course, what would an online meeting be without some technical difficulty, right?
That's right.
I have it here. I can't get the slideshow. Hold on a second. I can't see it. Okay, great. Thank you for your patience. So the Georgia Department of Transportation is making major investments in the state's transportation network to deliver projects that are going to meet a community need and deliver positive benefits to drivers. And this concept gave birth to what we call the Major Mobility Investment Program, or affectionately called MMIP. So in 2016, Georgia Department of Transportation said, hey, we need to have a group of projects and have a consultant to manage these projects that are going to create additional capacity, improve freight movement, efficiencies, enhancing safety, and offering more reliable trip times and decreasing travel times. As I said, we call this MMIP. MMIP started off as an $11 billion program. It has grown. It was initially 11 projects, and we have increased projects in the program. Pardon me. One of the things that is unique about MMIP is that we use a unique procurement method. We typically use public-private partnerships so that we can bring these services and these roads open and all these improvements to you sooner. So I spoke about the procurement method that we use. We use public-private partnerships where we use private dollars to help bring funding to the project sooner, bringing the end result to you sooner. But we also have curtailed or cut off some time in what we call our design-build project delivery method. So typically, in the world of procurement, you have design, bid, build. Well, what we've done is, instead of having projects come to full design, 100% design, then bid the project, and then have a construction company come on board, what we've done is we have general engineering consultants design the project. We do the preliminary design up to about 30%, and then we do a procurement for a design builder. That company is going to be responsible for completing design in partnership with the general engineering consultant, or GEC as we call them, and construction begins prior to the completion of the design. Now that may sound scary to some people, but the initial part, like clearing and grubbing and things of that nature, can begin before final design is complete. This helps us realize the results that much sooner. So there are some changes and things happening in the MMIP program. So I don't want to share too many details. I want to spend more time talking about how you can become aligned with the opportunities. But what I would like for you to do is make note of this web address email address, and phone number. We have people ready, willing, and able to communicate with you about the project, all of the updates to the project schedule, and all of the projects that are contained in the MMIP are available on the website. I just want to pause here for a moment so people can capture that information if necessary. I encourage you to stay in touch with us. There are lots of opportunities there. People do respond to your emails when you email this address, the majormobility@dot.ga.gov. So as we move on, I'm going to turn the reins over to Jessica for a moment.
Hi, good morning. Hi, good morning. Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Get you all aligned with these opportunities to help empower, engage, and educate you all so that you're feeling confident, that you are aware of the opportunity, and you feel support as you continue on, not just bidding on projects, but once you win those bids. And as you continue on these working with GDOT. So a little bit about our office mission. Again, we're here to engage, educate, and empower the small business communities. We do that by removing barriers and preparing you all for success. And so I'll share a little bit more about that in just a moment. But I want to first introduce you to our DBE office team. And these are the fearless leaders that go out every day to champion small businesses and making sure that we are aligning you all with opportunities and removing barriers. So again, as Natasha mentioned, GDOT is the main controller, and we work under the PMC, the project management team, to support small business communities for the MMIP project. It happens under the leadership of Emmanuel Merkel. She's the Division Director of Diversity. And then we have our DBE manager, Nikita Hurt, who is a champion for small businesses. She's worked on the GDOT side. She's worked on the construction side, and now she's here helping us connect all the dots so that we can better support and align you all and prepare you all for these opportunities that we know are coming down the pipeline. We have Kiana McCoy as DD Supervisor, and she's kind of our glue, making sure that we're staying on top of things and keeping our programs and events aligned to support you all. And then the DD specialist. You have the two of us today, Natasha and myself, but there is a third. Her name is Leandria Holiday, and she, the three of us work in tandem to put on events, to have one-on-ones with DBEs, to connect with stakeholders such as the Southern Crescent Women in Business Center, so that we have a full ecosystem of aligning and supporting the small business community. And then there's also Laurie Bennett, who's new to our team, but she does the contract compliance, which is super important. These are federal mandates. You'll learn a little bit more about DBE as we go along, but this program is federally mandated. And who keeps and audits and makes sure that contractors, prime contractors, subcontractors are keeping up their end of the bargain. That's what this contract compliance specialist does. And we look forward to working with her as more projects let, so that DBEs are aligned and they continue to feel support even throughout the project life cycle. Next slide. So what do? We have some signature events here with the MMIP DBE office, and I'm not going to spend too much time here. I just want you to know that this is the start, and we hope that you continue to stay engaged with our office. I'm going to highlight a few of our signature events. The MMIP Brown Bag series is essential. This is a series that really, when there's updates on the projects and on the different projects that make up this program, that Brown Bag series unpacks what those projects are, what those opportunities will look like, and where you need to be, to get in the room and to be making those connections and building those relationships with potential primes and other subcontractors. So that's an essential event that I would definitely say be on the lookout for this year, as there are going to be several updates to MMIP coming down the pipeline, and you want to know and be in the know. As this is a rapidly moving program, stuff changes, every couple months to stay at the speed of advancement. So this Brown Bag series is a great way of staying up to date and making sure that your business is aligned for opportunities. DBE Connect and DBE Showcase are great opportunities as well. These are, once you're DBE certified, these are great events to get plugged in with the office. Oftentimes, it's not who you know, but it's who knows you. And you want to be able to connect your business with the decision makers or people in positions to make decisions about contracts and who to bring on as subcontractors. And these events do that. DBE Connect is a 10-minute, you have 10 minutes to meet one-on-one with a prime contractor and or project managers from a prime contractor or GEC perspective, and sell your business and connect with people. And then we also have DBE Showcase, and this is going to be your talent show, so to speak. And so it's a great way, again, of staying connected with everyone. We have, you can go to the next. This is the way to stay engaged. This is our DBE Edge newsletter. This is, I want you to go ahead, take your phone out. I want you to scan this newsletter publication, because any events, all the things that we have going on will be promoted and shared through our newsletter. And so we want to stay connected with you all and be able to make sure that you guys have not just information today, but know how to get information ongoing, and staying connected with our office is a great way to do that. So let's get to how to get aligned and what services are available to you. I'm going to pass the floor back over to my colleague, Natasha. And if you could do me a favor, because we do like interaction, I know I like interaction in the chat. If you could do me a favor and tell me a little bit about yourself and your business, what kind of services does your business provide? And we're going to talk about how to get aligned with the Major Mobility Investment Program.
Thank you, Jessica. So as you're utilizing the chat, you will see a list of services come up on your screen. So we know on our program there are going to be certain services that are going to be needed and utilized. These are just a few of them. Of course, most of the opportunities are in construction, but there are so many other services that are utilized on projects. Some of them are very unique services. You'll see drone services and aerial photography. You see things of that nature. There's also design that is necessary. And there's so many other things. Community outreach is a big part of projects. When you start talking about billions of dollars being utilized throughout the state, most of them in metropolitan Atlanta, and you're going into people's neighborhoods, they want to know what's going on in their neighborhood. So community outreach is a great part of it. so many things. I don't want you to be discouraged if you don't see your service listed here, because there is space for most of the services. And some of the things, and I'm going to piggyback on something that Jessica was sharing earlier, we've created these programs, our programming specifically, like DBE Connect and DBE Showcase, so that you have opportunity to be in the room with the right people. DBE Connect is virtually a speed dating, so we use that term, speed dating, but you get 10 minutes to be face-to-face with people who are looking for your services. You have a time where you have 3, 4, 5 appointments we've been doing it over the course of 3 days, where you actually get face-to-face virtually with someone who's looking for the service, who has influence and decision-making ability on projects. You don't want to miss that opportunity. The same thing with DBE Showcase. It is a talent show meets a Shark Tank. That's the way we like to describe it. And if you're DBE certified, you get to apply and say, I provide this service, and you get to be showcased. We look for unique services. We've had a fuel supplier. We've had project managers. We've had, of course, people in construction. We've had designers. We've had different people to showcase their services. We have people that work in logistics to showcase their services before an audience of primes. We've had as many as 22 primes on one session. Where else can you get the opportunity to showcase your service to an audience of 22 primes? Networking opportunities are great, but this is very tailored. The decision makers, those people who are looking for DBEs to fulfill their project goals, are in the room. So don't miss the opportunity. So Ms. Shaw mentioned earlier today about the DBE. So these are the requirements to be a DBE. You must be in a social and economically disadvantaged group. So we have those ethnic groups lined out there, and you must be 51% owner of that company. Your firm cannot earn more than $23.98 million over the last 3 years, and your personal net worth cannot exceed $1.32 million. So I've shared all this with you. I've told you what the requirements are. We hear the term disadvantage, but I want to share with you that there is a true advantage in being a disadvantaged business enterprise. And by that I mean, and Chris will share some of the wonderful resources and things available to you at no cost. But in addition to that, you get to be in events like our DBE Connects and things of that nature that get you front and center. You have this group of people here working for you on your behalf to align you with opportunities. You really can't beat that. You get to be in the room to satisfy a requirement that a contractor has. And that may be the differentiator between you and another firm. If you ever go to the store and this is a pair of shoes that you like, it is great when you see the sales tag. Like the shoe is still the shoe, the maker is still the maker, but it has a sales tag. Look at the DBE certification as your sales tag. It sets you apart. You still have the same quality and the same function, but it makes you that much more appealing. So there are two certifying agencies. You have Georgia DOT and you have MARTA. If you are housed in Fulton, DeKalb, or Clayton County, MARTA is your certifying agency. There is no difference in the certification. It's just that there are two different agencies that do the certification. The certification does take about 90 days. So I encourage you to utilize supportive services, and Chris will tell you about that later. I encourage you to use supportive services in your endeavors to become DBE certified. And if you want to find the application and find out more about the DBE program, I've listed the website here. And I'm just going to pause for anyone that wants to make notes. And currently,
I'm sorry, while you guys are putting down this information, and I see some things in the chat. So Jessica, if you can get the support for, I understand somebody's DBE certified, but it basically lapsed because they couldn't get everything uploaded. Can you get the support team in touch with them? But I do want to make sure we're clear in what Natasha is saying. So one of the things that I wanted to make sure we did, and why this conversation first started, was you do not have to pay a person to be DBE certified. The process is 90 days. If you paid someone to be DBE certified and a year later you are not, there is a problem. You have the support of the state and the individuals in this office that can assist you. I will say you want to make sure, as well as just making sure you have everything lined up when you do submit that application. That way it doesn't restart if something is missing. So I don't know if you were going to touch on that or not, Natasha, but I just want to be clear with everyone on the line, because I know I have had people come to me saying they contacted consultants to get them certified, and a year later they're still not certified. So we want it to go directly to the source, and that's the beauty of being connected to Southern Crescent women. So go ahead, Natasha.
Yes, that's a very good point. And my personal view is you have to gather your tax documents to provide evidence of your income and your firm's income. So you're already doing most of the work. Georgia DOT has provided you with free services. Please utilize them. And you're going to learn so much more about them, but please utilize them. It is no cost to you. So let's use the free things first. You're already doing the work. Everything, you can hire a consultant, but all the work has to be done by you. You have to provide all of the information. And I know sometimes it can be difficult pulling these things together or putting them on paper, but there's help here for you. So as the next step, yes.
Yeah, this is Chris. I was going to chime in here if it's okay. I know we have a structure in terms of what we're doing, but one of the things I want to sort of point out is that GDOT has positioned different levels or different people representatives to help support people who are trying to become DBE certified, as well as those who are existing DBEs, and for those who are coming from out of state who want to become DBE certified with Georgia. Those different entities, such as CEI, DBE Supportive Services, which is what I represent, which is basically the federal side, which does help tremendously in terms of getting people certified. And the reason I wanted to interject here is because what we do, or what I do, is that I ask those people who are trying to become DBE certified to send me their application. I will review that application page by page with them prior to submitting it on an official basis, to point out any questions they have, to answer any questions they have, and make sure they have the documentations ready to go before they submit it for the certification. That's a service that's free. As I mentioned before, there are a lot of people who basically will try to do that on a paid basis, but this is a free service. So please utilize it. I'll go through some of the other things that are required to be DBE certified as part of the presentation, but I wanted to make sure I mention it.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. Very good. I'm glad you said that. I wanted you to touch on that point. And to Ariel's earlier point, you want to utilize Chris's services because if something is not correct and you're 30 days into the process and they find the error, the clock starts over. So the 90 days is already 3 months. So you don't want to extend this time any more than it has to be extended. Okay? So your next steps to get aligned with some of these opportunities that we've mentioned is to become DBE certified if you are not already DBE certified. And then, and Chris may touch on this a little later as well, but then you also want to obtain pre-qualification or registration as a contractor with Georgia Department of Transportation, which is a separate registration, separate process. And you can register also as a subcontractor. But once you get your DBE certification, we encourage you to maintain that certification. There is a recertification process that is far less expensive than the initial certification process. So you've done the work, maintain the certification. There's no cost to you to do that. And then get connected and stay connected. Subscribe to our newsletter, Jessica mentioned earlier. That is where we post opportunities and for the programs that we have, and we make sure that we keep you informed. We give you a lot of other information that helps you as a small business owner. So get connected, stay connected. People say all the time that partnerships are important. People do business with people they know. So we create opportunities for you to get to know people. So connect with us, and we are available to you for one-on-ones. We want to hear from you. You can call us, you can email us. We are very responsive. Get in touch with us. Talk about what your specific company does, because everyone's company is unique. There may be different ways that we can help you figure out how to align yourself. And then also, just like the private world does business with people they know, if we connect with you, you'll become more memorable to us. And then when opportunities come up, because primes will ask us at different times, do you know anyone that provides XYZ? It'll be great to know that your name is in our minds, that we can, in our mental Rolodex. I'm dating myself by saying Rolodex, but we would like to be able to refer you to people and align you with opportunities. So please reach out to us. We are here to help. So Chris, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Fantastic. So I assume that you have my slides there. I'm going to casually go through them a little bit. I'm just going to, so if we start off with the first one, it says program goal.
We're there.
Okay, so a little bit. We're here to contribute to the long-term development of new and existing DBEs, as well as assist DBEs to achieve growth, sustainability for their organization. Next slide. Those are a lot of words, basically we're saying that, hey, we're going to help you succeed in any way possible. Partly what we do, and I'll talk about this as we go through the slides, is talk about what supportive services are available to DBEs. I've already mentioned for those people who are not DBEs, there are supportive services available to help you to become DBE certified. So those are free services. CEI, Construction Estimating Institute is what it stands for, is contracted by GDOT to provide supportive services for the state on all federal programs. We were founded in 1982, a nonprofit educational institution, mission to improve the skills of construction professionals, and most of our staff is construction. We have webinars that provide every week on different aspects of how do you make your business succeed. And if you're a DBE and you're not receiving that, please make sure that that you contact me. My contact information is available at the end of the slide presentation. Let me know that you're not getting that so I can make sure that we have your email address correct. Okay. The qualifications, it was touched on a little bit about what the qualifications to become DBE certified are. There are basically 6 things that they look for in the application process. One is you're a woman-owned or ethnically associated. That's one. That you're a for-profit business. That your personal net worth is less than $1.3 million. Your gross revenue, and this is based on an average of 3 years, is less than $23.98 million. As a 51% owner, you have to demonstrate control and also demonstrate independence. Now, control indicating that you are the one who is responsible for how your company operates. Independence is that there's no other company or individuals that are really directing you in terms of how your business operates. So those are the things they're going to be asking questions that are aligned to what the application is looking for. And hopefully, as I said, as we go through the process of you become DBE certified, I can help you identify whether or not you're going to qualify as a DBE. DBE supported services, what we offer, which are available to DBEs as free services. One of them, of course, is DBE certification assistance. Needs assessment is a form that we put out which helps us identify the type of needs and tailor what you need as a company, what needs you may need or things you may need as a company, and how we can use our available services to make that happen. Online training, we have several online training modules that we have, as well as I said before, webinars that we put out every week. We have a DBE database. That's a database of all the DBEs that are certified within the state of Georgia. One of the values you have there, if you're looking for people or other DBEs which are doing work in the same NAICS code or work category, you can find them. If you, we put it up on our website for prime contractors to go through and find DBEs that are looking forward to work in different work categories. We also assist in bonding and finance, free website development or help, capability statement development. We have monthly newsletters, construction management development program. That's a program we take, which lasts about 8 weeks. But once you sign up, we take you through a means of strengthening your company so that you can work better with prime contractors. We provide that list to prime contractors or people who are taking the course so they can make sure they know these people have already passed through, if you will, all the necessary administrative needs that they have to become a good subcontractor to the prime. We do contract review, estimating assistance, and one-on-one training. You may have mentioned you may have noticed one of the things I didn't touch on was the bid matching. And that's a process or a tool that we have that's unique to just about to the industry itself, to DBE supported services. What we do is we take all of the lettings or proposals that come out every month from GDOT, and we put them in work category. So it'll be listed by concrete, asphalt, bridging, striping, electrical. We take that and list all of those proposals that you have every month and put in the work opportunities associated with those work categories. That's important. I don't know if you've ever tried to look at a proposal and then go through it and try to ascertain, okay, now what in this proposal is associated with what I do? It takes some time to do that. Well, we take that out. We do it for you. We also have the quantities, the location, meaning the county the work's going to be done in, as well as the prime contractors that are planning on bidding on those jobs and their contact information. That should be invaluable to you because once you know who's bidding on the project, you can be first in line or one in line anyway to start that process of asking them to be involved in that project with you. So my last slide that I have is my contact slide. You can call me for anything. You can call MMIP. As I mentioned before, we have also a state entity that does DBE supportive services. All of us work in conjunction, hand in hand, and we'll get you to the right resource that you need to help your company to grow as a DBE. And that's all I have.
All right, awesome, thanks. Let me ask you this, Chris, or Natasha, actually, one of you guys, can you put that list back up there as to where the opportunities are in addition to what the qualifications are to be DBE certified? Because I'm seeing that question come up a lot in the chat. The other thing is we mentioned that we started off at $11 billion. We are over that now. What is that estimate?
We don't have an estimate. The program is being revamped. We started off with $11 billion and $11 million. We grew to 17 projects. So the dollar amount automatically increased. We just have not quantified what that is.
And what's the time frame over, over 10 years, over 5 years, over what?
Yes. So 10 years from now, we'll still be working on those projects. But then also the other part I want you to consider is that there's a maintenance portion to it. So this can go on for 20 and 30 years, depending on what type service you provide and what your role will be on a project. We're only 2 projects into MMIP, so we're still very early on. There's still many, many opportunities that are left. But this project will extend for many, many years when you consider the maintenance portion.
Okay.
And then also, there's a direct schedule assigned to each of those projects on our MMIP site. It's just hard to see and get very detailed, but I encourage people to go to that page. Let me go back there so you can get that website. I'm sorry, I'm backing way up. But if you go to that website there, you will see the schedule. And that way you can be abreast of any changes that have happened as they happen. They appear on that site.
Okay, and that you do have the ability. So I know like some cities, they push out their procurement opportunities the first Thursday, or do you guys have something set like that, or is it just best to kind of keep checking in?
It is best to keep track because we have just this conglomerate of projects. There are many other procurements that happen. So I would encourage people to also visit the alternative delivery page by Georgia DOT, because you will see more design build opportunities. You will see more 3P, public-private partnership opportunities there as well. But we don't have a set procurement schedule. That procurement anticipated date is on the schedule on the website, though. But it's not staunch like, oh, the third Thursdays. It's not anything like that. Yeah.
So is the recommendation to go ahead, if you are not DBE certified, still go ahead and sign up as a vendor while you're waiting on your DBE certification, or is the recommendation to get certified first before you sign up as a vendor?
You can sign up as a vendor without hesitation. That's something you can get done in a day. The Department of Administrative Services does a training for anyone who wants to be a vendor for the state of Georgia. You know, we think about GDOT or Georgia DOT being huge, but it's just one department of the state. So you have the opportunity to go to Department of Administrative Services. It is done online. They do a training every month if you need to be walked through the process of how to be a vendor. But also to register as a subcontractor does not take any no cost and is available on the GDOT website. So I would say those things work in conjunction, but the easiest, quickest thing to do is to register as a supplier. But also the next step, very close behind that, is to become DBE certified, because that's how we can get you aligned. That is how we can get you in the room. The services that Chris provides at no cost, the services that we provide at no cost. The ticket, the key to the room is DBE certification.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and the registered, one of the things I'll point out is the registered subcontractor. You can go in and register. It's called Form 478 on GDOT's website, or if you want, I can send it to you. Registered subcontractor is a form which identifies your capacity rating based on your experience, your expertise, and the equipment that you have available to do a job. And that capacity rating is posted in or provided in terms of your dollar threshold, if you will, at the time. And it's normally under $3 million. So that particular process takes about 45 days to go through. So you can do that. It doesn't matter whether or not you're DBE certified or not, as to whether or not you're going to apply for Form 478 as a registered subcontractor. I always recommend people, if they're planning on working with DOT in a construction-related area, you know, hard construction like asphalt construction, striping, bridging, that kind of thing, that they go on and start the process to become registered as a subcontractor.
Okay, and thank you for that, Chris. And so I know I spoke with Jessica and Natasha, and so is the recommendation, because I'm hearing subcontractor, is the recommendation that is the first or the easiest way to get your foot in the door versus going after the prime?
Well, okay, so the prime contractor, to be registered as a prime contractor, normally you're going to be looking at jobs that are going to be $3 million, and that's going to take a little bit more of a registration process or pre-qualification process where they require a lot more documentation, the accounting information that's needed to ascertain your ability to act as a prime contractor. That's $3 million and above. For $3 million and lower, the process is the Form 478 as a registered subcontractor. So there are a couple of different ways to go in. You can be a prime contractor as a DBE, but normally that's going to be at jobs, for just said before, that are under $3 million. As you go over $3 million, as I mentioned, there's some additional requirements they need to ascertain your ability to perform as a prime contractor.
All right, thank you. So it's all about capacity and being able to determine whether or not you can actually do the job.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Are there any other questions? I didn't know if we had an opportunity to maybe pull up a sample of the DBE application, because again, I want to be clear, the opportunities are there. They're upwards of $11 billion over multiple years. Did this come down from the infrastructure, from the DC bill, or is this something that was already in place prior to the current administration?
This was in place prior to, MMIP was created in 2016.
Okay. So are there additional opportunities that are coming down as a result of the new administration, or we don't know that yet?
We're not sure. We have our ears to the ground trying to hear what's going to happen. But what we do know, and I know the infrastructure bill is very exciting to people because we hear these millions of dollars, these billions of dollars that are going to be distributed. Well, guess what? There are billions of dollars that are already here, and we're working on that. We hope to add to our program because of course, we want to do this more. We want to bring more opportunities. We want to make sure small businesses that are DBE certified get opportunities. And that's what we're here to do. So we're hopeful, but we don't know anything yet.
Okay.
But the best way to prepare for what's to come is by getting active and engaged on what's here right now. You know, building those relationships with the primes and GCs and positioning your business to get work when transportation, that's going to help you build capacity. That's going to help businesses grow. So to be able to give and participate at this level will definitely set your business up to be able to participate as more projects and opportunities come down the pipeline. Okay. And I just want to, we will pull up the DBE application, but your feedback for this presentation is super appreciated. If you could take a moment to scan the QR code, or there's a link in the chat, and give us and fill out that survey so that we can have the feedback so that we can continue to make this presentation the best that it can be. We greatly value your input. And while you all do that, I'm going to just leave it up here for just a second so you can scan the QR code. And then I will also go ahead and pull up the DBE application, and I'll just share my screen with you. Again, if you are residing in a Fulton County, DeKalb County, or Clayton County, your application is going to be done online, and that's going to be done through the MARTA website portal, because MARTA supports GDOT by processing Fulton, DeKalb, and Clayton County DBE applications. And I did see a question earlier about someone having trouble with their application and getting their recertification. I would reach out to Chris and see if you can get some support. I'm not sure, and I will have to ask our team. We may have some contacts at MARTA as well that we can see what the concern is and how it's, because I don't know if there's another way to upload information utilizing MARTA's system. Not
Yeah.
100%
So-
sure, but we can look into that.
So yes, I mean, if you're having trouble and you're in Fulton DeKalb or Clayton County, you're trying to use the MARTA system, let me know. I can possibly be able to help you get in contact with some of the people there to make sure we get it resolved. That's one. There are a couple of little caveats I wanted to mention as far as people becoming certified, which comes up quite a bit. And one of them is, how long do I have to be in business before I start the DBE process? You could have started your business today. As long as you have articles of incorporation and a bank account, you're fine. And to tell you honest God truth, if you're going in as a sole proprietorship, you don't even have to have a separate tax ID. You can use your own tax ID, meaning your own Social Security number, and your own bank account, basically, to start. If you're going as a sole proprietor, if you're going in as anything else, LLC, corporation, S Corp, C Corp, then you're going to have an articles of corporation and a bank account. And that's the only thing you need. You could have started yesterday. If you have those things, you're ready to go. And I can help you in processing the application.
Thank you, Chris. Yes. Oh, yes, in Henry County, you will complete the application. It needs to be mailed in. It's a physical application. I am pulling up an example of that application as we speak, so you can take a look at it. And again, this is why we have support services on the line. Getting in contact with Chris, he can walk you through and making sure that it's completed to the best of the ability, because if anything has to be returned, that 90-day clock starts over. So even though it ideally will take approximately 90 days, it can take up to 6 months or 9 months, depending on how often the office has to get back in touch with you to get supporting documents or to clarify anything in your application. And so the more support you can have on the front end, the better it's going to be.
Let me ask you this. So what would it take to get Henry County online to the MARTA system? Because I'm assuming that it'll be a lot quicker process if you're able to do it digitally versus physically mailing something in.
MARTA only does Fulton, DeKalb, and Clayton County. Everyone else has to mail their application in currently.
Yes.
Okay, so
That's above all of us, really. I think they look at the volume, and I don't know if it's because MARTA is in those certain counties, MARTA services those counties, so I'm not sure why.
It came about just from a history standpoint. It came about because there was a need for support with the amount of applications coming in, that they need support, and they signed an agreement with MARTA. So MARTA agreed that they would handle those 3 counties for them as part of the DBE process. And MARTA has what they call the B2 system. I'm getting a little bit too deep for you, but anyway, that's a computer system that goes throughout all the transit area. And they actually formulated or adjust their system to take in the application process for DBE online. GDOT does not currently have the B2 system, that kind of thing. I think they're probably going to be looking at that at some point in time where you can do it, but right now, everything has to go in outside of those 3 counties. They have been mailed in.
Yes.
All right, thank you for that clarification.
You're welcome. It's a great question. People do ask, like, well, when can my county be online? And unfortunately, it's not available at this time. So this is an example of a DBE application. So I'm trying to scroll up so you can see it. It's a uniform certification application for disadvantaged business enterprise. And airport concession disadvantaged business enterprise. So,
and it's also worth noting, I don't think we touched on it. I know we talked about DOAS and becoming a supplier. It's also worth noting that the only way that you can become MBE certified, Minority Business Enterprise certified with the state, is that you first have to become DBE certified. Once you're DBE certified, we send the information that we collected from the DBE certification over to DOAS, Department of Administrative Services, for their consideration for you as an MBE certification. So you can possibly get 2 certifications from one application.
Yes. A 2-for-1 special.
That's really good. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
So does anyone else have any questions? So I know I'm seeing a couple members. I know we have Miss Matthews, that she has her own construction. I don't know if I don't know if you're GC, I can't remember, but we do have some individuals that are in construction that are in, if they don't have their general contractor's license, I know they're looking to get that. And you're still recommending for them to still do sub applications as well, or?
Well, yeah, the recommendation is really based on, okay. So if they are, as I mentioned before, planning to do construction-related work, and your NAICS code can sort of help you define that. If you download Form 478 on page 3, it goes through the NAICS code and work codes. If your NAICS code is listed in there under one of those job codes, then you should consider going and get your registered subcontractor, because you have to have a way that GDOT's looking at you from the standpoint of, okay, how, what resources you have available, what expertise you have. There has to be a way, either that's going to be from a pre-qualification standpoint, if you have a tremendous amount of equipment been in business for a long period of time, and you basically can be assigned a pre-qualification rate, if you will, that's over $3 million. If you are just starting out, and so you've been in business for 3 years, don't have a lot of equipment, don't have a lot of expertise, that kind of thing, then they will assign, as I said, a pre-qualification or a registered subcontractor threshold to a capacity rating. So yes, to answer the question, I recommend that you go in and look at Form 478 first and start that process. The only difference between pre-qualification and Form 478, where you'll be working as a prime contractor on jobs of over $3 million, is another Form 477 and a process they go through with GDOT for looking at these prime contractors, or people who are wanting to be pre-qualified as a prime contractor.
All right, awesome. All right, so if there are no more questions, this will be available on our YouTube pages as well. And just make sure you have signed up for the newsletter for DBE. We'll be sharing our contact list, at least those who have registered with GDOT. So you should be able to get those that newsletter automatically. Are there any more questions, anything that you need clarification on? And I want to be clear, guys. So this is for for-profit businesses, not nonprofit. I think we've clarified that a couple times at this point. And the qualifications are that you fall into the category of what a DBE is, and you need to be 51% of that company, whatever that company is. And again, that list that was provided is not exhaustive, but it's a good overview of the opportunities that are available under GDOT.
Yes, thank you so much for that clarification. And just to close things up on our end, we're available to you. I've said it before. We are here to help. We encourage you to reach out. Everyone's story is different. Questions that you may have about your own business and alignment with opportunities may be different than someone else's. So reach out to us. Something may come to you later. Oh, what about this? Reach out to us. Chris has expressed how available he is to you, and Jessica and I, as well as the rest of our office, we are here to help.
Yes. Someone had a quick question about, is this the same, for the MBE certification with the state, is that equivalent to the GMSCC MBE certification?
No, it is not. That is certification for private businesses and things of that nature. The DBE and MBE certification provided by the state of Georgia is for public projects.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why it's important to get plugged in, guys. So when you're talking about GMSDC, you have a lot of your UPS, your Coca-Colas, those folks who sit on those boards who make it, they want to be clear that who they're doing business with. And so it is different. It's not the same. So if you're wanting to work with the state and get some federal dollars, I strongly encourage you to get plugged in to the DBE office. All right, guys. Well, again, this is Southern Crescent Women in Business in partnership with Georgia Department of Transportation, MMIP program, and DBE program. This concludes our webinar. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to send us an email. You should be able to get access to the newsletter once you're added into their system. And again, thank you and enjoy your day. All right.
Have a great one.
Have a great
Bye.
one.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.